Long ago, there was a kingdom called Kaereth, shrouded in eternal shadow. The sun had vanished from their skies centuries ago, leaving the land in perpetual twilight. The crops struggled to grow, the rivers ran sluggish and cold, and the people lived in quiet despair, their hope dimmed like their darkened skies. Kaereth was ruled by a wise but weary king, Eldrin, who often gazed out of his castle's highest window, wondering if light would ever return. His daughter, Princess Lyra, however, saw things differently. Unlike others who accepted the gloom as fate, Lyra believed that the kingdom could find light even in the darkest of places. "Father," she said one evening as they sat by the fire, "darkness doesn't mean the end of light. It only means we haven't found where it hides." Her words were met with a sad smile. "You have a brave heart, Lyra," Eldrin replied, "but some battles are not ours to fight." But Lyra refused to give up. One morning, she decided to climb Mount Kaelos, the tallest peak in Kaereth, rumored to touch the heavens. She was determined to search for light, no matter how dangerous the journey. With nothing but a sturdy staff and a satchel of provisions, she set out, her heart ablaze with hope. The climb was grueling. Cold winds howled, and the jagged rocks scraped her hands. Days turned into nights as she ascended higher and higher. But Lyra pressed on, driven by a vision of her people living in warmth and light. On the fifth day, as she reached the summit, Lyra stumbled upon something extraordinary. Hidden within a crevice was a shard of the sun itself, a piece that had fallen from the heavens long ago. It glowed faintly, a golden ember against the darkness. Lyra's heart soared. She carefully cradled the shard in her hands, feeling its warmth seep into her skin. "This will be our light," she whispered. Carrying the shard back to the kingdom was no easy task. The descent was treacherous, and the shard's glow attracted wild creatures lurking in the shadows. But Lyra's determination never faltered. When she finally returned to Kaereth, the villagers gathered around her, their eyes wide with astonishment as the shard's light flickered against the gloom. Lyra placed the shard on the tallest tower of the castle, where its faint glow reached across the kingdom. Though it wasn't as bright as the sun, it brought a glimmer of hope to the people. But Lyra wasn't satisfied. She knew the shard's light alone wasn't enough to transform Kaereth. She called upon the villagers to bring mirrors, polished stones, and anything that could reflect light. Together, they worked tirelessly, placing these objects across the kingdom. The shard's glow bounced from mirror to mirror, spreading its reach. Slowly, the darkness began to lift, replaced by a soft, golden light. One evening, as the villagers gathered beneath the glowing web of light they had created, Lyra stood before them and said, "Even the smallest light can illuminate the darkest place when it is shared. Alone, this shard was weak. Together, we made it strong." The people cheered, their voices rising like a chorus of hope. Under Lyra's guidance, Kaereth flourished. The reflected light revived the crops, warmed the rivers, and rekindled the villagers' spirits. Lyra became known as the Princess of Light, and her story was passed down through generations as a reminder that even in the darkest times, unity and hope can transform the world. Kaereth's skies never regained their sun, but its people learned to create their own light, and in doing so, they discovered a strength that could never be extinguished. The story gives a moral lesson that even in the darkest times, hope and determination can light the way to transformation. True strength lies in unity, where individual efforts combine to create something greater than themselves. By believing in the possibility of change and working together, even the smallest spark can illuminate a world shrouded in despair.